Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, by Joe, he's got it. It's Joe Swash. Show her the funny, it's Suzi Ruffell. And Rob Beckett, their team captain. And facing them tonight, superstar DJ, it's Radio 1 Extra's Dotty. Joker of the pack, it's Harriet Kemsley. And Josh Widdicombe, their guest team captain. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, the Queen travels with an entourage of 34 people, including Prince Philip, and 33 people trying to keep Prince Philip alive? 85% of bikini bottoms never get wet. Fair enough. Who gets turned on by fat guys in Speedos? And 60% of the world's largest animals are in danger of going extinct. That's why there's no time to waste. If you want to shoot an elephant, do it now. Don't wait to nail one of those fat slags. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Tonight, it's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 things to do before you're 30. Rob, what do you think people want to do before they're 30?
Threesome. I can say, before you're 30, people, I'm sure, like to move out.
Yes.
Yeah. Get their own place.
How old were you when you moved out of home?
18.
That's young.
Yeah. I had a small house and a lot of brothers, so if my aunties come over, my mum would go, find somewhere to sleep this weekend. Auntie's coming. So I just say to my mate, can I stay at your house this weekend?
How many aunties did you have?
I've got loads. My nan and granddad had about 15 brothers and sisters each. And
Is Nan and granddad are rabbits?
Yeah, they are rabbits.
That's the teeth, isn't it?
My granddad... That's the teeth.
You know, sometimes it's a cheap shot, but it's a bullseye.
But that's the thing, people moan now, because it's expensive to buy your own place, that there's loads of people living at home with their parents, right? And they can't move out, they're 30s or 40s or whatever, it's so expensive. But if you want to get rid of your kids, you can do it quickly. All you've got to do is just start, getting off with each other in the kitchen. Just a little cuddly, a little arse grab there, because if I saw my mum cupping my dad's balls, I would have been in the Navy at 14.
Suzi, what age were you when you moved out?
I was 18 as well.
And
Dizzy
then
Heights,
never
London.
moved back?
No, I go back a bit now, but every time I go home now, my mum's like, oh, you treat this place like a hotel. And so I did what any of us would have done. I left a bad TripAdvisor review. Just 2 stars, the maid was very rude.
Do you know what I do in hotels?
Yeah.
I'm revealing too much today. I don't know what's happened. I've had truth juice. If I'm in a hotel, I will trim my pubes there.
What?
Oh, mate!
So do you bring the scissors, or do you order down
No,
to reception?
I've got a beard trimmer. If I do it at home, it's a bit of a mess, and you can never clear it all up. A bit of wind. It's everywhere, isn't it?
If your mum walks in and you're trimming your pubes, that can't be great.
No, it's not ideal.
At least she knows you're tidy.
When your mum says, go upstairs and have a tidy round, I don't think she means that.
Oh.
And if she does, definitely move out. Do you manscape, Josh?
I don't, actually. Do you think I should get into it?
Well, I just think, I'm looking at your hair, I'm imagining downstairs is... Imagine it's like a pistachio in a bird's nest.
You never trim your pubes.
No, but I'm going to as soon as I get home. It's
It's a whole new world for you, mate.
So where do you start?
Well, wherever there's hair.
So you just go full skinhead?
No, you can do as much as you want off,
You got to be careful of the nuts, though, because sometimes they fall between the teeth of the blade.
Yeah.
Oh, how small are your nuts?
Tiny little nuts!
What age were you when you moved out, Joe?
Like 21 when I went. It was a difficult transition, really, because I had a lot of incidents. When I moved out and I moved into my house, Like, I set fire to it. I set fire to my duvet, but my duvet was made of duck feathers, so it was just like thousands of duck feathers on fire. So I didn't know what to put out. I was fucking...
A bit like when you're trimming your pubes,
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
How did you set fire to your duvet?
I had a candle on.
Why'd you have the candle out?
It was a lavender candle, and it was helping me
That
sleep.
doesn't matter. Oh, OK, fair enough.
Yeah.
So you had it on overnight?
Yeah, and I must have put the duvet over it. But then when it got into the mattress...
She was asleep when it started...
Yeah, I was asleep. And then I thought the dog was in the mattress, but I've killed the fucking dog.
You thought the dog was in the mattress?
No, because there was so much smoke and the dog was in bed with me, and I thought, oh, fuck, I've killed the dog.
How were you allowed to live on your own?
Then, I'm not even going to tell you about the floods. I had a few bad floods.
You're going to tell us about the floods. What happened with the floods?
I had a period of 2 months where I had about 8 floods.
Oh, my God. What happened the next week? A plague of locusts?
Honestly. I've learned my lesson, like, ever since. I've not had a flood since. But
So what was the lesson? What did you...
Turn off the taps.
Turn the taps off.
Do you think you're going to make a good dad? I think you'll be a lot of fun as a dad.
Yeah, I've got a little boy already who's 11, and he's still alive, so I'm doing good.
I've just had a baby. It changed my perception of everything. Like, honestly, previously,
Yeah.
I'd like worry about my own mortality, but now, quite happily be dad.
Does having a baby affect your voice at all? Because you sound... Does it involve a lot of shouting, having a baby?
Shut up! Shut up! When are you moving out?
But what about you, Dotty? Do you still live at home?
I done that thing where you move out, but then you move back in, and then you move out, like trial periods. But
Right.
third time lucky, I left.
So with your parents, you've had like a trial separation?
Exactly.
Right, you've
And then
moved-
we rekindled, and then I left eventually at 25.
Did you pop back for food and washing?
Occasionally, but I have now figured out the washing machine, but that was touch and go first few years.
Harriet, when did you move out?
I moved out when I was like 19, but I live in quite a small place. But then I don't think we deserve houses, though. You know what I mean? Like millennials, like baby boomers, they've been through like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Cold War. Like, what have us millennials been through? What, like the Ice Bucket Challenge? You know what I mean?
The older baby boomers that are angry really do annoy me because it's so hard to buy somewhere
Yeah.
now. It's so difficult. And these people, they're in a house and they're just so angry all the time. And it's a house they bought in like 1963 next to a tube station for 900 quid. They don't have a go at millennials for not buying a house because we eat avocado. Yeah. If they know that avocados aren't 400 grand. Because if they were, I wouldn't smash them.
I've got a fact for you. Here's a fact. Economists predict millennials will find it easier to get on the property ladder in 2034, as this is a year that a lot of baby boomers are expected to die.
Come on!
OK, 2034. I'm looking at you.
He's not making it to 2034.
I'll tell you what, Joe, he'll be lucky to make it to the end of the show. OK, let's have a look and see if moving out's up there. Yes, indeed, the number one thing. People want to move out of their parents' house. Even at the age of 26, my mum did all my washing. I remember sitting in the bath thinking, Mum, I'm 26, I'm old enough to wash up my own now. OK, next thing, other things people want to do by the age of 30, what do you think?
I think people want to try and drive, maybe.
Yes, learn to drive.
Can
Yeah.
you drive, Harriet?
I can, like everyone's surprised.
You can
but
drive?
I can drive a car. My friend, though, right, she's got a Mini, and they've got this thing where if you're in a Mini, you wave at the other Mini, but I drive a Nissan Micra, and every time I drive, everyone honks and yells, "Get off the road, you stupid bitch!" It's a Nissan Micra thing. That's what we do, yeah.
Dotty, do you drive?
I do drive. I didn't pass my theory test the first time round because I didn't realise you had to study. Thought it was like one of those common sense things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there are the signs which I wasn't ready for, the signs.
My favourite sign is falling rocks. Because what am I meant to do? That sign might as well just be a picture of falling rocks and just say, be lucky.
I've seen deer ones, like Beware the Deer. I saw a frog one the other day. You ever seen a frog one?
Yeah.
Frog? What the fuck are we got to look out for a frog for? oh, sorry, I didn't know tarmac was a new habitat. The road. Fuck off to a pond.
If you're watching Frogs, I'm sorry, but Rob said,
Yeah.
fuck off back to your pond.
I killed an owl once.
You killed an owl?
Yeah. I was driving a car, it wasn't like on purpose. It like spread its wings and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and then I killed it. It was so sad. Then it was the end of my road and I had to drive past it every day.
Can I ask, were you expelled from Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Josh, do you drive?
I failed my first test after 3 minutes. I knew I'd failed when he said the words, watch out for that lorry. But I'd done better than someone else had seen at the test centre. I watched a woman, she walked out, got in her car, went to go forwards, but reversed onto a bank. The wheels spun, and then her and her examiner just got out and went back into the test centre. She failed within a second.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
I failed a few times my driving test. One of them, I got in trouble because I saluted a magpie.
What?
On my driving test, because it's bad luck not to, but it's worse luck to take your hand off the wheel whilst changing lanes.
My dad taught me to drive, but he's a black cab driver, so I make everyone sit in the back. Only take cash, and I've got some very strong views on Brexit.
Joe, do you drive?
I do drive, yeah.
You had a few tests, though, didn't you?
I had a couple of tests, yeah.
How many?
I had about 4 tests, but...
4?
Weirdly...
Four? Was it 4?
I had about 6 tests, but... Weirdly,
6 tests.
it was 7 times.
The test's mental, though. Reverse round the corner?
Oh.
Fuck off!
What is a mini roundabout? You cannot drive round a mini roundabout. You got to do a 3-point turn to get round one of them fucking things. But in the end, I've done one of those 5-day courses. So, like, you start on Monday, and by Saturday, I was on the A12. It was the scariest thing in the world. I passed.
It took you 6 days to do a 5-day course.
Still trying to find the 6th gear.
Let's have a look and see if learning to drive is up there. Yes, indeed, learning to drive. When you're learning to drive, remember the basics. Mirror, signal, crap, I didn't see the cyclist, swerve, crunch, stop, get out, scream, load up the boot, drive, park, dig, bury, pretend it never happened. Easy. 17% of young people don't have a licence, but just use the taxi of mum and dad, which is fine if you're taking your girlfriend to the cinema, but a bit awkward if you want a finger blaster in the car after. Okay, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What do people want to do before they're 30? What do you think, Josh?
Skinny dipping.
Have you ever been skinny dipping?
Of course I haven't. Can't swim, don't want to die naked. I could go skinny paddling, but that looks awful on a beach.
Surely, like, if you're going to be naked, the beach is the worst place to be.
Yeah.
Because it gets everywhere, doesn't it?
I'd rather someone was naked than wearing a Speedo, though, because I think a Speedo's like suspense in a horror film, you know? Like, you know something terrible is happening, but you don't know what the monster looks like.
Dotty, you ever been skinny dipping?
I haven't been skinny dipping because, you know when you've seen yourself naked in private?
Oh, yes.
Not when you're flexing in the mirror. Have you ever caught yourself by accident? When you've just caught your reflection, like, in a toaster.
Yeah, in a toaster. Did you toast naked, then?
No, I've got a small flat.
There was a water park in Stoke-on-Trent that were doing, like, a nudist day for the family.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And it was £21 to get in, and I couldn't help but think, I don't get change. Like, where are you going to put that? And there's £9. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's my problem with that event.
Yeah.
I mean, it's difficult for blokes to go skinny dipping because it's all a bit of a laugh when you're flaccid. As soon as you get a lob on, it's gone weird, apparently.
I can tell you, skinny dipping is not up there. I went skinny dipping. It was exciting and liberating and fun. The only issue, really, is I got banned from seniors aquarobics. All right, fingers on buzzers. Another thing to get.
Is it travelling or backpacking? People love doing that.
Travelling.
Year out.
Did you ever do that? Were you a traveller?
Yeah, in my blood, my nan's side.
Suzi, do you ever go travelling?
No, it's not for me. I don't really like roughing it. And everyone that I've ever met that's like, I've been backpacking, I've been like, you're a prick.
Oh.
So...
The worst are the people that go to Thailand for a full moon party. We've got a moon here! What's that full moon party thing? They always go, oh, I had a great time. I had this bucket of whiskey and coke. It weren't a full moon you enjoyed, you had a bucket of whiskey and coke.
Dotty, have you been travelling?
Travelling, but not backpacking. I'm a risky... I like to travel without travel insurance. Chances are you're going to be all right. So I'm risk-averse on the holiday because I've got no insurance. So I can't go backpacking because...
That's too risky.
It's too risky.
Do you know you can just get insurance?
The other thing about sort of roughing it, the point you made, you know, because backpacking, you do have to rough it. Oh. This is a guy in Thailand, he's travelling, and he finds a cockroach in his room, but he sort of mans up, he handles the situation.
I get that, though, because I'm terrified of creepy crawlies. Once I moved into a flat and I was moving the sofa and there was like a properly big, massive, hairy spider behind it. And I didn't know what to do, so I went out, I locked the door in case he had keys. I thought, I'm gonna have to do something about this. So I went next door to my neighbour, who I had never met, and said, I've got this massive spider in my living room, can you help me? He didn't speak any English. So I was like, oh, come with me. And then I moved the sofa. It turns out he spoke a little bit of English, which was, ooh, he's a big bastard.
I hated backpacking. I went to America, hated it. Hated the hostels. Oh. There's a reason there's a film franchise called Hostel and it's a horror movie. There's no film franchise about horror movies called Malmaison.
Well, I can tell you, backpacking is not one of the top things to do before you're 30, but backpacking around the world is incredible for anyone who enjoys holidays but wishes there was a bit more waking up in an ice bath, missing your kidneys action. Right, fingers on buzzers, one more thing still to get.
Is it, like, falling in love, getting a boyfriend or girlfriend and stuff like that? People want to meet someone?
How old were you when you first fell in love?
When did I have my first Ferrero Rocher?
Joe, have you ever been in love?
I fell in love with a swimming pool blower in Tenerife. I remember...
A swimming pool what, sorry?
A swimming... You know, like a swimming pool filter that filters that water, then blows it back in. I was about 10 and I went past it and went, oh. And then... We had a relationship for about 2 weeks before I had to go home.
And what would you do with the...
I'd just sort of lean up against it and just let it blow on my willy. I didn't put two and two together and realised I didn't know what wanking was at the time. So I just thought I had found something that no one else knew about.
What annoys me is my mates that are married and got married before Tinder and all that, and they go, oh, I missed Tinder, didn't I? If I was on Tinder... Oh, imagine. I'll clean up. I was like, no, you wouldn't. Because Tinder, Steve, will not change your face, your personality, or your gambling addiction.
I couldn't use Tinder because growing up on Dartmoor, there's just no one in my area. It had just been...
There's always family. Oh, look, Mum's up for it. I'll pop downstairs.
I think Tinder's good, though. I think it's a great way of reminding women that men are gross. We don't have to leave the house.
Dotty, have you been in love?
I'm really, really, really fickle. So I'm easily put off. So I'll be like, this is the one. Oh, yeah, this is it for me.
And then what's the most minor thing that's put you off?
Farts.
So your current partner, she's perfect.
I wouldn't say perfect, but we're pretty good. She's done well so far.
The vote of confidence you're looking for.
5 years, no farts. So I don't know where she does them, but...
5 years, no farts. You know she's going to explode at some point.
I was there for Suzi when you had a breakup once, wasn't I?
Yeah. So we were going to a tour show. We had quite a long drive together, and I'd literally been dumped on the morning. Josh,
I phoned my agent, but it was too late to change the support act.
And so I was driving and weeping and driving and weeping, and we got to the place we were having dinner.
And so Josh made you drive?
You heard how my test went, mate.
Probably for the best, yeah.
And then we got to the place we were having dinner, and I looked a mess because I'd just been dumped, and the guy put my dinner down in front of me and went, "Can I get anything else, sir?" And then Josh laughed so hard, he had to go outside, ring one of our mutual friends and go, "You're not going to believe this. Ruffell got dumped this morning and now she's been mistaken for a man. It's literally the best day of my life."
Harriet, how long have you been married now?
Nearly 2 years. But my parents, they've been married 38 years. I know, it's quite impressive, but they told me recently that I was their greatest achievement, which I just thought is so sad. But it's particularly sad for my brother.
Love's got a bit out of hand. Because back in the day, you basically just go to your local disco, get pissed, stand near a girl and end up marrying them. That was basically it, that was it. You just sort of...
You know your wife's going to watch this, right? I mean, dress it up a bit.
I met her at work, actually.
Did you meet her at work?
Yeah, we went out, I stood near her, got married.
So proposing, that's a big romantic moment in life. That's really when you know when you're falling in love. Yeah. Take a look at this guy proposing on a private plane. Pretty swish.
My mum sort of accidentally told me that my girlfriend was going to propose to me. I say accidentally. My girlfriend asked my mum if we could get married. And my mum, sort of afterwards, we were sort of having a drink together, and she sort of let me know. She sort of went, "Here, Sue, do you reckon you and Alice are going to get married?" And I went, "Oh, yeah, I hope so." She went, "Do you think you'd want to do the proposing?" The only reason she's saying this is because I've got short hair. And Alice has got long hair, and she's like, "Oh, she deserves the proposal. She's making the effort." And I said, "Oh, I don't know, yeah, maybe." And Mum went, "If you want to, I'd crack on." It's like,
Did you propose? Did she propose?
She proposed. It was very sweet. It was in our flat, and she said, "I think we should spend the rest of our lives together." I said, "That sounds lovely." And then because I knew that she was thinking of proposing, so for the last 4 months, every time she went to tie her shoelace, I was like, "Yes, nothing, nothing." So yeah, it was really sweet, and so we had this really sort of emotional, lovely moment, and then the cat immediately had a shit in the corner. I was like, "Oh," and that's life, isn't it?
I'm actually just realising why they put us on separate teams. They're trying to spread out the gay.
Yeah. Because it's catching. Watch out, Harriet.
But they've concentrated the cockney. In one little corner.
No, I'm cock no, thanks.
I had some disastrous, first dates, when I started dating. I had one at uni where I had a date with the girl that was the room below me, and I thought, well, maybe, we'll go back to mine, Basically, she called off the date because an hour before, when she was getting ready, she could hear me hoovering my room. She just presumed I was being too presumptuous.
Oh. Were you? Presumably you just trimmed your pubes. Well, let's see. Falling in love is up there. Of course, falling in love. Most young people these days try and find love online with apps like Tinder. If you've never used Tinder, think of it as sort of like Deliveroo for chlamydia. The biggest turn-off for me in a dating profile is when a woman says she's got a couple of kids and you realise one of them is you. A quarter of young people think marriage should be a temporary contract like a mobile phone deal. It's not a bad idea. I'd go for unlimited texts, I'd like to do a bit of roaming, and if I drop her, I'd like an upgrade, no questions asked. So those were the top things to do before you're 30. But also on the list, starting a business. The young woman who lives opposite me has just started her own webcam business. I'm sure she'll be delighted when she finds out. like the look of?
The brain.
The brain, OK. According to a recent study, having small electric shocks can improve your memory. So we asked our studio audience, do you think you've forgotten everything you learnt at school? Yes or no? What do you think?
Oh, I've not forgotten anything. All of it's up there. Sin, cos, tan, Pythagoras, hypotenuse, protractors.
That sounds like people in your gang.
Bunsen burners, the Tudors, and frying beanbags.
There's a lot of throwing beanbags.
A lot of frying beanbags. More beanbag than Tudor, if you ask me.
Harry, do you remember much from school?
I remember everything from school, which I think suggests I didn't go to a very good school.
What do you know? List the things you know. We've got time.
Volcanoes, cats, hats.
It sounds like one Dr. Seuss book. Did you go to school, Joe?
A long time ago, I did. Yeah, I did a few times.
Was it like a class that they had within the... what I can only assume is a secure unit? Did you remember much from school?
You know what? My school weren't really the environment to learning. My school was the kind of place...
It's an absolute joy. It's a bloody joy. My school wasn't really a learning environment.
My school was the kind of place that if you needed to go to the toilet, you'd go home because you wouldn't take the risk of doing it in the school. It was pretty rough, my school.
It was so rough you couldn't shit there. Dotty, what were you like at school?
I was the one that got kicked out of the class quite a lot.
Oh, right, OK.
That was me. I think they weren't challenging me.
What kind of challenge did you want?
I just felt like, I don't need this stuff. Do you know what I mean? When am I going to use this?
All the time. Yesterday, I was with a mate and we had 7 apples.
Right.
And he said to me, he said, I want a third of them. How are we going to work this out? But I don't remember. I can use a Bunsen burner.
But when have you ever had to use that? Do you know what I mean?
All the time, friend will come round, cup of tea. Pop on the Bunsen burner, blue flame.
Rob, can I ask you, you went to a big school, right?
Yes.
How many pupils do you reckon, roughly?
There's thousands of kids there.
Thousands of kids.
Yeah.
How many kids at your school, Josh?
There was 4 in my year.
And did you know them all?
That's the whole year.
Yeah.
Were you in a foster home? Was it definitely a school?
I didn't think it was weird, because I just realised, I presumed all the schools were that small, and then you grow up and you realise...
They're not.
That you're in an Enid Blyton novel.
No, mate, what are the famous for?
Famous for.
Well, they say that school gets you prepared for real life, OK? But at my school, if you didn't have your PE kit, you did it in your pants.
Yeah.
When I started work at Sainsbury's, if I forgot in my uniform, they didn't make me put the yoghurts with my knob out.
All right, so what do you think? Do you think you've forgotten everything you learned at school? What do you think, yes or no?
We're going to go no.
OK,
yeah.
no. What do you think, Josh?
Looking at this audience, they've forgotten everything they learned.
Well, I can tell you, the answer is no. 63% of our audience say they haven't forgotten what they learned at school.
Well done to them.
For a lot of people, school was a waste of time, like, for example, Rob's teachers. OK, we are going to attempt a memory test now. So there's this theory that getting an electric shock increases your memory. Joe, Josh, come and join me in the middle for the special 8 out of 10 Cats memory test. OK, there are 20 objects under here.
Oh.
I'm going to show them to you. All you have to do is memorise them. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK. Now, you've been fitted with electric shock pads. Apparently, electric shocks help your memory. In fact, I'll give you a little boost now, OK? Little memory boost.
All right, go on. Oh, Jimmy, turn it down a little bit.
OK.
Just a little bit, make my nipples go hard.
We're going to do a little test. Boost your memory. Here we go.
It's nice in a way, though.
Oh, it's not. You like
OK, let's play the 8 out of 10 Cats memory test. OK. You ready? You've got 20 seconds to
20
memorise
seconds?
20 objects. Right. OK, there you go. Right. OK, so you've got tomato, you've got sunglasses,
Yeah.
got a rubber glove, you've got a dinosaur, you've got half a Scotch egg, Got a pizza cutter. That's a kazoo.
Gazoo.
That's a rubber ducky.
I'd leave that one,
We'll
Joe.
try that. Right there. Wait there 1 second.
That is it, OK. It's pretty
Okay.
easy. Now, all you've got to do is name those 20 objects.
Yeah.
Easy.
OK, you go first.
Kazoo.
OK, Josh, you'll go.
Gazoo. No,
Joe, you'll go.
Orange.
We'll give you that. Satsuma.
Cheers.
tomato.
We had some. Oh, Jimmy!
You're not allowed to hesitate.
I wasn't hesitating. I was about to say it.
What were you about to say?
I was about to say the little heart glasses.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
A dinosaur. A dice.
Teeth.
Oh, a tea bag.
Correct.
Playing card.
Oh. There was
Which playing card?
Oh, I know which
Which
it was.
playing card?
Get it wrong.
Oh,
got
come
buzzing.
on,
buzzing.
mate.
Buzzing.
10. Ow!
8 spades. Spades.
10 spades.
8 spades.
10
Go on, get in.
spades.
Who got it right? Is it my
Okay,
go?
you'll go, yeah.
A pen.
Blue the bus.
Teeth. Teeth.
I've said it.
Jimmy, let go of it. It's nice making us sweat.
Oh, I can't. Oh, no. I can't remember anymore. No. A tray. It was all on a tray.
It was on a tray. It was on a tray, yeah. Joe?
Are we still playing? We must have done it by now. We had a rubber ducky.
Yes. Pearl necklace.
Yes.
Don't,
and
Jimmy.
we had a rubber glove.
Come on.
Yes,
How am
Jimmy,
I being
do it.
beaten by Joe Swash at this?
Well, that's...
Oh! I can't think of any more.
Never do it to him, Jimmy.
No!
Never do it to him.
I'll give you each other's. At the end of that, you both did really well. At the end of that, you both did really well. You each get a point. Most annoying habit. What do you think?
Is it when someone at work's got a really annoying laugh?
Is it...
Is it when you make the bed if you put the duvet over the pillows instead of under it? No, it's not. Good. Well, because someone's on my fucking girlfriend. Is the most annoying habit leaving droplets on the shower door rather than sponging it down afterwards? No, it's not. What is she doing to me?
You have to wipe down the shower after you have a shower.
Yeah. It's a shower. It cleans itself.
Is it not having your method of payment ready when it's time to pay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and someone will you be queuing up for ages,
Yeah.
and they get there and it's like a shock to them.
Like, what did you think you were queuing up for?
Harriet, what do you think? Most annoying thing?
Is it when someone tags you in a meme and they're like, this is just like you, but then you look at it and it's nothing like you and you just think that no one knows you at all?
I just hate couples holding hands, hogging pavements.
I get annoyed with people when you're walking down the street and they just stop dead.
Yeah.
What's that?
Normally a stroke.
What do you think, Suzi, most annoying habit?
When you send a WhatsApp, then you can see that they've read it and they don't respond.
Oh, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I don't like WhatsApp. Everything about it freaks me out. When you're writing and you know people can see your writing and the pressure gets too much. Love it, though, when someone's writing for like a minute and it just goes, yes. You think, how many ways did you try and draft no?
Rob? Eating loudly.
Oh, I hate that. Stacey does that. She eats crisps like someone's turned the volume up in her mouth. You know what I mean? It's
What crisp is it, though? Because that can affect it. Do you know what I mean? Like a Quaver's a subtle one.
Yeah.
You go McCoy, that is...
You know, like, she's more of a Dorito.
Oh,
It's quite a real initial big crunch, then loads of little crunches. But yeah, that annoyed me. But I've got over that. It took me a good couple of years to get over that. But I can deal with that now.
Anything else that annoys you about Stacey?
She makes me go to bed at like 8 in the afternoon. What she does is,
You had us at 8 in the afternoon.
No, she goes to bed really early, but she makes me go to bed with her.
Yeah.
Really?
And then she goes to sleep, and I'm just sort of sat there thinking, fucking hell, what am I doing here? Why am I sitting here at like
8 in the afternoon?
All right, let's get some answers. Most annoying habit.
Being on your phone.
That's it. Always being on the phone.
Yeah.
Here we go. Comeback starts there.
Yes.
Yes, the most annoying habit is someone always being on their phone. Some people are just plain rude on the phone. My nan called the other day to say, help, help, I've fallen down there, and then just went quiet. I hung up. I haven't got time for games. OK, final question. Most common thing people pretend to know about. What do you think?
The alphabet, I still don't know it. I thought I knew it. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but my daughter started going preschool and apparently I don't know it. The way you teach them is like the alphabet's like... And then it gets like giraffe and it's like G for giraffe. It work, but that's the way you got to teach them.
Oh, that seems crazy. Suzi, do you ever pretend to know about anything?
I think wine is a classic one of people pretending they, like, well, you know, what's the year? The only time I'm going to be asking what the year is if I'm so blind drunk I actually don't know what year it is.
People are a bit, like, annoying with healthy eating. They pretend, they always say, oh, you're doing a diet. You must eat more kale. It's so good for you. So much iron in it. If it's got so much iron in it, why aren't these dirty thieves going in my fridge and nicking it? Taking it down a scrap metal yard. There's that much iron in it.
Dirty thieves, that's no way to talk about your family. What do you pretend to know about, Joe?
Me? I don't think I get away with it anymore, so I just stop pretending.
That checks out. Harriet?
People always pretend to me that they know about art. Like, everyone's always like about Vincent van Gogh. They're like, the sunflowers, they're like, oh, it's about the vagaries of time or something. I'm like, did you know him? Maybe you just like yellow?
I pretended to know what wind is the other day. Someone asked me what wind was. They said, do you know what wind is? And I said, yeah. And then I realised, I don't. Do you know what it is?
Oh, my God, I don't know.
No one knows.
It's when things blow.
Yeah, no, I know what wind is. But no one knows.
What causes wind?
We're all walking around pretending we know what wind is.
Is it because the Earth's spinning?
It's not because the Earth's spinning. Joe, what about when there's no wind? Have we stopped?
At least I'm chucking in some ideas.
OK, most common thing people pretend to know about. Dotty, what do you think?
Brexit?
Well, Brexit, when people mention it as well, I can't get into a conversation about this. It changes too often.
Oh, it's a good out. I just piece together headlines that I've read and try and come up with, like, a coherent sentence. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, the backstop is just... 12th of May.
Well, I think Dotty sort of got it, haven't you?
Politics, Brexit.
That's it.
Yes.
Cool. Yes, the most common thing people tend to know about is politics. Everyone should read up about politics. It's incredibly important to know who you pretended to vote for because you slept in on the morning of the election. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show. I can tell you that Rob, Joe and Suzi are tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.